My name is Matt Kaplan, and I'm on the faculty at Penn State University, and my area of expertise is with intergenerational programs and relationships. And basically, I'm going to talk about the issue of family involvement in the whole area of estate and succession planning. Some people feel that perhaps it's not a question of family involvement, but just getting all the technical information about financial decisions, business decisions, tax-related consequences, and so on, getting all of that right and making the right decisions. But then again, we see many families get stuck later on when there's conflict in the family, where people don't really agree with the plan that was developed, and then you get bad feelings, which is probably the least of the negative consequences. When people start getting legal and contesting wills and so on, and family businesses have to be split up because of the conflict, then people start saying, well, what could I have done differently in terms of family involvement? We hear the phrase business management all the time. In terms of succession planning, running a strong business is, of course, you have to make good management decisions, but when it comes to family relationships, the word management is kind of a funny word, because you have many different individuals in the family. You have people with their own ideas as far as their own futures, how they see their role, how they see their skills, and so on. And there needs to be, as we discuss in chapters 3, 4, and 5, there needs to be some ways in which people can express what they want to see happen. They can have a role in the discussion, that there's open lines of communication, and that they see themselves as partners in the succession planning process. So that's basically what we're advocating. That's the background for where we're coming from with chapter 3 here. All family members, in a way, are partners in the succession planning process, and it's the content in this chapter basically encourages people to see how their individual needs fit into the overall context of family business needs. So we could talk about a young person who's worried about getting into college, let's say. How are they going to pay for it, and so on. But if you look at that in the larger family business context, you could understand that perhaps the family business can help to take on that expense with the understanding that the young person will pay that back later on. Older relatives may be worried about retirement issues and so on. So how will they relate to the business, and how will they contribute in the future? So we like to call this intergenerational interdependence. The more people are aware of how decisions that they make individually affect the entire family, and how, if they work together in an interdependent fashion, that everyone can really win out. The business can be strengthened. At any rate, we do hope that you get something out of this chapter, and look forward to seeing you in chapter 4. Take care.